I'll be getting a call from Paramount Pictures pretty soon. Let's see what we got up next here. Okay, that's Equus. And sure enough, Paramount called, and this is what happened. Here we are. Robert Wise directing us in the first motion picture, which didn't fly too well, frankly, but we got it done. And then we went on to make Star Trek II, which was a terrific movie. I was hired, I really thought it was great. I was hired to direct Star Trek III, which I enjoyed very, very much, to bring Spock back to the search for Spock. We had to find him, you know. At the end of Star Trek II, you know, there's this scene where Spock has died, saving the Enterprise, and Kirk. Don't you love it? That guy. He's doing the eulogy, and Spock's tube is rolling down the railing, about to be shot out into space. And he says, of all the souls I've met in my travels, his was the most human. And we did Star Trek IV. We had a good time with that one. We had a few laughs. This scene came about because when we were preparing the film, which I was directing, and working on the story, I was in New York during the summer, hot day, walking down Columbus Avenue, and some young guy came out of a doorway carrying one of these gigantic boom boxes on his shoulder, and he had the music up to 11, you know. It was pounding out there. You could hear it for blocks. And I thought if I could, I would pinch him on the neck and knock him out. So I introduced it into the script as a Spock. Yeah, I love that. And then after that, I was hired to direct 3 Men and a Baby. Ooh, I didn't know he directed 3 Men and a Baby. Yeah, 3 Men and a Baby. Had a great time with those guys. They were wonderful, all of them. Wonderful. And then I went to work with John Delancey, wonderful actor and friend, and we did a bunch of shows called with a company we formed called Alien Voices. Yeah. We did science fiction classics. We did First Men on the Moon. We did The Time Machine, Journey to the Center of the Earth. We had a great time. And by the way, those shows are now, just now becoming available for downloading. You can get them at alienvoices.net. Write that down, alienvoices.net, okay? They're available for you. All I really wanted to do was to make a living as an actor. And I did want to be one more good one. I worked hard at it. And as far as honor is concerned, well, I have several Emmy nominations, and I have a few Lifetime Achievement Awards, and I have 4 honorary doctorates, and plenty of popularity. Popularity, by the way, who was it? Victor Hugo said, popularity is the crumbs of greatness. So I keep that in mind. I try to remember that. Do I have an identity issue? Of course. If somebody yells Spock, I'm the one whose head turns. I have walked alone, seeking answers. I have lived alone, chasing dreams. I have tried to prove my worth to worthless judges. I have cried my pain in silent screams. I have been sometimes served a touch of kindness. I have wandered in golden fields of grace. I have been released by honest laughter. I have touched the western wall of the holy place. I have soared alone above the cloud heads. I have walked the deep, dark tunnels of the earth. I have dined with mystics and with prophets. I have heard the pain of women giving birth. I have been sought after as a teacher. I have been refused the laurel wreath. I've heard the thunder blast of sunrise, and I have watched the final touch of death. I have played the rules set by the master, though often I didn't understand the game. I have worn more masks than I remember. I have been a face without a name. And when, like you, I ask the final question, who on earth am I supposed to be? I always come full circle to the answer. Me, only me, always me. Now I'll tell you a story about identification and recognition. I was at a industry gathering one day a few years ago. A lot of very interesting and important people in the room, and I felt a pair of hands on my shoulders grab hold of me, and a voice whispered in my ear, I recognize you. Yeah, your ear is fixed. And it was John Wayne. I believe in living a creative life. I believe in bringing more to the party. I believe in showing up and using both sides of my brain. I believe in being passionate about my work. Recent years, my interest has turned to photography. My passion has been awakened, and my work is now in permanent museums and collections around the United States, and I'm very proud of that. I've done a series of projects. Thank you. This is, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. This is the cover of a book that I produced called Shekhinah, which actually the origin of this book was this gesture. It is about the feminine aspect of God, because I learned not so terribly long ago that the reason my dad said to me, don't look, when those gentlemen were blessing the congregation, is because the belief is that during that blessing, the Shekhinah, the feminine aspect of God, comes into the sanctuary to bless the congregation. And she's a deity that gives off this tremendous light, and if you were hit by that light and saw it, you might not survive. So you protect yourself by covering your eyes or putting your prayer shawl over your head. Well, that intrigued me, and I did this book called Shekhinah, which is about that personage, that feminine deity, that feminine aspect of God. And then I did another project which we produces a book called The Full Body Project. This is about what our culture considers beautiful, and I think it's an interesting take on the subject. And then most recently I did a project called Secret Selves, which these are some of the images from Secret Selves. The catalogs are available. Go to LeonardNimoyPhotography.com and we'll show you how to get hold of one of these catalogs. They are available. These are some of those images. Kind of fun.